Attention soldiers, it's time to reform. It's time for us to build the right ammunitions to face the battle of life as usual. Okay, I have somebody here today again, somebody that came around to discuss a beautiful topic that I released. And your guess is right if you are guessing the person that switched career, right? The person that dropped out of chemistry and became a pharmacist. We heard the story and I know you enjoyed that topic very well. And I felt like, okay, let me bring him on again because I got so many comments from you guys that bring this guy on. He got some juice, he got some insight, he gets some good stories that are motivating. And of course, today I have with me here Kayode Ayodele.
Okay, my man. What's up now?
I'm good.
How you doing?
I'm fine. Thank you for coming back on Get Your Life Together podcast.
Yeah, the pleasure is mine. I'm actually happy that I'm getting the opportunity again to dish out some doses of motivation.
Yeah, that's fine. And one of the reasons why I think this topic suits you is because I feel reputation matters a lot, and your reputation actually precedes you. Today's topic actually is the reputation you construct is built with every word you utter. Like everything you say, just like you are building a house called your reputation. Because when you hear names like King Solomon, you kind of think wisdom.
Yes.
When you hear names like David, you think when you hear names like Abraham, you think faith.
Yes.
When you hear names like Julius Caesar, you think strength, you think courage. Yeah. I don't believe there's a reputation attached to your name.
Yeah.
And then how do that reputation comes to being? It depends on your actions, and actions come from words. It comes from our thoughts. It's very hard to think. I think we have to think before we can utter a word.
Yeah.
Right? And then your words will now transfer into your actions. So I think let's discuss this topic. It's kind of interesting that every word we utter is just like we're building a house. I don't know what you think about reputation. Let's start from there. Okay,
in the very first premise, I think some days ago I was just reading, then I laid hold on a post. What did the post say? It said, live your life well so that we don't get to lie at your funeral. That's so deep.
Yes.
Live your life well so we don't get to lie at your funeral. It's fascinating for you to understand that this life you are living is your first and last opportunity, like I said in the last podcast. And the story you write now will be your biography at your funeral.
You are writing a story with everything you are doing.
My man. You are writing a story. You are writing a story which is supposed to be in alignment with the purpose of God for you. So whether you wrote a story that's a devastating story, whether you wrote a stupid story, whether you wrote the story of a clown, whether you wrote the story of a victor, it's all dependent on you. And what you wrote down is what you are definitely going to read out at your funeral.
Nobody's going to lie for you.
Nobody's going to lie about it. And that's why reputation is very important. Reputation is very important. One of the dangers of this generation is that we're in a generation of extremely materialistic people. And because of that extremism when it comes to materialism, we feel that materials are far more important than reputation.
Yes, we think physical things that you can see are more valuable, like your house, the clothes you wear, the phone you own.
Yeah, we think they are more important than a man's reputation. And that draws me back to one of the stories I read about. There was a time I was so concerned about this Nobel laureate. So I was like, what is the source of this Nobel laureate? Nobel laureate, where they give prizes to scientists, chemistry, physics, and all that. So I lay hold of the story, and I found out that the person who institutionalized that prize is a man called Alfred Nobel.
Wow.
Alfred Nobel never thought of creating such an institution, but his mind changed the day his brother died. I've forgotten the name of his brother. After the brother died, they thought he was the one who died, so they wrote a story about him. And as at that time, Alfred Nobel was into production of dynamite. And I think the caption of the story was the death of the merchant of death. So it now occurred to Alfred that the story he had lived his life to construct
reputation
was that he was a man that was creating bombs, creating dynamite. Do you understand? So he thought about it and he said the only way he can correct this is to do something that will live on. So he bequeathed all of his wealth into that account. That after my death, make sure you give prizes to chemistry, physics, and that's what we call Nobel laureate today. Until today, if you don't do your research, when they talk about Nobel laureate, the only thing you remember is the prize.
Right.
Your mind won't even go to the fact that it was a bomb creator. It was a dynamite creator.
You think it's about a good person.
So the only thing that has the capacity to live after you are dead is your reputation. Your money does not have the capacity to live. Your cars don't have the capacity to live. Take for instance now, you know Elon Musk for whatever you know him for. Yeah. But I put it to you that when Elon Musk leaves this earth, the only thing you remember him for his Twitter, Tesla, and all of that.
Going to the Mars.
Yeah, that's what you remember him for.
Not that he's the richest man on earth.
It's extremely important. Your reputation is totally important. Far more important than whatever materials you can afford.
You know, another thing I thought of when I was thinking about this topic. Yeah. When I created this topic, I was like, come, the words we utter are so important. And one of the things that actually struck me in the Bible was when Eve ate the apple. Yeah. And when God said, Adam, dude, where are you now? Where are you? I was like, the woman you gave me. the woman you gave me. You know, that statement struck me. I was like, oh, look at. I was not thinking, maybe God wouldn't have said, I wouldn't have banished them from the Garden of Eden. Maybe if he had not uttered that statement that the woman you gave me, pushing the blame back to God. You know, same thing struck me when I was reading the story of when David was dancing, and the wife said, look at this man dancing like a drunk or something like that. Yeah. And God caused that. I think she was barrenness. Yes. So I was thinking, how powerful can words be? How powerful can words be? Yeah. Everything we say actually draw an action and reaction towards us. Everything we put out there draw an action and reaction towards us. Yes. And we suffer the consequences of every damn thing we say. Yeah. Every damn thing we say. Yes. But I don't think, why do people now think there's something called cruise? Do they think when you say something, you can tell God that God, this one now cruise, and this particular one is not cruise. Oh my God! I'll talk about that. And before I talk about that, I want you to know that you see nature. The more there is aberration. Okay, let me put it this way. The more aberration you find in nature is how far nature is away from the character of God. Yeah. So if you are in any society and you find so much evil, that evil is telling you how far people are away from God. Do you understand? Now, first of all, before you can know the importance of words, you should first know God's character towards words. You should first understand God's character towards words. What is God saying about words? There is no part of the Bible where God cracked a joke. If you study the Bible, there was no, even though God loves man, the love God has for man is even greater than the love man has for man. Yeah, sure. And even the love man has for God. God loves man so dearly. But there was never a point where God said something and said, I was joking. Do you know why? The reason was because God said his word is more important than his name. He values his word. The Bible says that God values his word far more than his name. That everything will go. Everything he says except his word. Do you understand? That's how much value that God places on his words. And I was listening to a preacher sometimes ago. The preacher said something. He said, one of the reasons why God does not joke is because even if he jokes, what he jokes about will happen. So take for instance, God looks at you and say, hey, POK, you have a big head. He said, because of the realm where God is staying, God is living, he said your head will instantly become big. Do you understand? So the question is, how do you get to a level, to a realm where your words become valuable? So sacred and so powerful. Yeah. The only way to get to that realm where your words become valuable is you placing value on your words consistently. So let's say you have a friend now
You have a friend, and the friend tells you, I'll be coming by 5 o'clock. And he comes by 8 o'clock. He tells you on that time, I'll be coming by 2 o'clock. He comes by 4 o'clock. And that day he tells you, I'll be coming, and he doesn't come. Automatically, you have reduced the efficacy of that guy's words.
Yes.
So if that guy buys a car and puts it online, you can say, oh, that car is a lie. That guy cannot buy a car.
Most likely, I don't
You understand? Because the guy has proven to you over time that his words lack value. Do you understand? That his words lack value. Is one of the wrecks and havoc that is happening in Christianity, especially in Nigeria now. Many pastors lie. People lie in church. People they lie about testimonies, and because of this lie, you start seeing that the efficacy of power goes down. So when it comes to words, what I think people should start doing is start placing value on your words, because the more value you place on your words, the more your words become valuable to people.
And you know, one of the things, before I go to one of the things that Jordan Peterson always say, like, I follow Jordan Peterson so well. He always say this as, say what you mean.
Yes.
Like, say
what you mean.
If you're gonna see, because you always preach this thing that as a man, even as a woman, you should be dangerous.
Yes.
Now, it doesn't mean you go to the street, hold the knife, and start shooting everybody.
No.
Or you hold a gun and you start gunning everybody down. But Jordan believes that if you're not dangerous, if you don't have capacity to cause mayhem or harm people or defend yourself, people will trample on you.
Yeah.
And then if somebody wants to slap you, for example, they will think about the consequences of slapping you.
Because if you dish out the consequence for that, they will know you mean it.
Yes, they already know. Yeah. So they will know that this guy, if I slap this guy, will this guy slap me back? Or if he doesn't slap me back, does he have a gang of people that he can call and they're going to slap me to death?
Yeah.
What can he do? They think about these things in a very fast way, and then they decide that, let me slap or don't slap.
Yeah.
But if you have said something like, don't do that, if you do that, I'm going to eat you, and then you eat the person immediately, they do that. They want to slap you the next time, they'll think twice.
Yeah.
It's one of the ideology that Donald Trump pushes, that if somebody slap you once, slap the person twice. It's not because you want to revenge, it's because you want to pass an information for people around the person. Because once somebody slap you, everybody else wants to slap you.
Yeah.
They already spotted a prey. The world operates like that. You're either a prey or a predator.
Yes.
There's no in between. You're either a prey or a predator. You position yourself as a prey, everybody preys on you.
Yeah.
So, but they don't always say you can be a predator, but keep it in check.
Yeah.
You can be dangerous. You can have the capacity to fight, to blow somebody, but you don't blow everybody around. You keep it in check.
But they are aware.
Now, you can only attain that level when you build weight, just like you said, on your words.
Yes.
What you say, you mean it. You don't just say, I will slap you. If you're not going to slap somebody, you don't say you slap them.
The person.
If you're not going to show up in my house, you don't say, I'm going to show up in your house.
Yes.
You get me? So, whatever people say what you mean. And I believe, just like you are saying that you are building a reputation, once you say what you mean today, you say what you mean tomorrow, you say what you mean like on a stretch of 6 months, people start looking at you on that way, that whatever this guy says,
he means it,
and it's truth. If he says he's going to do something, he's going to do it. I'm going to release a podcast tomorrow. You release that podcast.
Yeah.
I'm going to study my book.
Study
your book.
You see what? I would like to comment on that. You know, the family is a system. I think one of the greatest havoc we've had in this world is that the marriages are currently
destruction of the family.
Yeah, family is currently being destroyed. And I think the reason why families are destroyed, there are two reasons. Whatever structure you want to put in place, whatever system you want your family to look like, is totally dependent on the leader of the family. That's the father. You understand? So whatever system you want to put in place depends on the man. And one of the things that have the capacity, there are two major things that have the capacity to ruin whatever system you have for the family. The first of them is poverty. Because when the man is poor and has no capacity to afford comfort for the family, it increases that appetite for survival. The survival instinct of the child is raised, and he begins to do things that has the capacity to violate whatever law you have for the family. That's not the topic for today. But the second one is when you have the leader of the family acting as a liar.
Actively lying.
When, if you are the husband of the wife, you are the father of the children. If you constantly lie, when we talk about lie, it's not you promising, it's not just you making promises and not fulfilling those promises. But when you start painting personalities that don't exist, instead of you working on that wretched personality you have to becoming better, a time will come when you won't be able to cover up for that wretched personality again.
It will leak out.
Then your children will start seeing you from that light. And when they start seeing you from that light, there is every tendency that personality, that wretched personality, they want to take after that personality. Do you understand?
You know, one thing I believe is, it takes time to build a house.
Yeah.
Let's say a house like this. A house is your reputation. Reputation equals to a house. It's going to take you like 4 weeks to build the house. Even no matter how fast you are, there's fund and everything. Everything takes processes. They have to build the foundation. They have to build the flooring, setting of the blocks before the roof.
Yeah.
The interior. It's in processes. I just believe building our reputation is in that way too. It takes time.
Yeah.
If you start telling the truth today, if you stop lying today, your words don't become powerful today. A pastor that prays for you and heal you with his word
and tells you a prophecy and it happens.
It doesn't start that day.
Yeah.
He was able to build it, because just like you said, the realm God operates from, words are sacred there.
Yeah.
And for a pastor to actually do a miracle, he has to operate in that realm.
Yes.
And for you to operate in that realm, you have to spend a whole quality time with God.
Yes.
Now it takes time, alright?
Time.
Same way, it takes time to build a house. But if you want to destroy a house, other 24 hours, just bring a bulldozer and bam, everything is done.
You are done.
So I believe the reputation is same thing.
Yes.
Just like it takes a whole lot to build your career, just a slander about rape, you are done. So I don't know what you have to say about guiding your reputation. We have talking about building it.
Yes.
But how do you protect it? How do you guide it?
How do you protect your reputation?
Because staying rich is harder than becoming rich.
Yeah. You see, the issue of guiding your reputation is more of an act of discipline. You know, I had a discussion with one of my friends sometimes ago, and I was talking about the properties of truth and lie. I told him, I said, truth transmits certain energy. Then lie transmits certain energy. The energy truth transmits has the capacity for endurance, but may or may not have the capacity for speed. Do you understand?
Yeah.
But the energy lie transmits has the capacity for speed, but lacks the capacity for endurance. So if you want to be a man that will be truthful to your cause, it means that you must learn what they call discipline. You must learn endurance. What is endurance? I say I'll be here by 5 p.m. and this is the first time you're going to meet me. Even though circumstances should make me be there by 7 p.m., I still try to make sure I'll be there by 5 p.m. Can you see it?
It doesn't matter if it's raining.
It doesn't matter. So I am there by 5 p.m. I get there by 5 p.m. and I continue like that. A time will come where people around me will know me for that. So the issue of guiding your reputation is more of endurance. It's more of like you acting in truth. And that is why you see, I tell people a lot that many of our celebrities have no capacity to motivate people. Why? Because most of them dwell in the realm of lies. So you can't be making money from fraud, making money from money laundering, from prostitution, and you come online to tell us that you are.
You should taste the bag.
You want to teach people how to make money.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't teach people how to make legitimate money. Not legible, legitimate money. Do you get? Because you dwelt on lies. Are you understand what I'm trying to say?
You know what, sometimes when I'm on Twitter and I get to see some podcast videos, I just burst in, like I just laugh and I'll just scroll past, because I always remember something that one of my mentors always say, that everything is energy.
Yeah.
Like everything we do is energy. Everything is energy. Just like you said, so truth lies exude or negative energy. Truth exude. Just like you might stay like this, you might be feeling bad or down to work, and then you just hear something, or somebody calls you, or you hear the voice of your wife or something just tells you up. Yeah, or you just play a song, then you are fired up again. To go to work. But why I don't engage those podcasts is because I believe our energy is limited. You can be fired up for like 4 hours, you work, but trust me, you can only do deep work for about 4 hours. But deeply working. After 4 hours, you start working at a superficial level, at a shallow level. It doesn't go that deep again. Most of the time when I want to create content, I kind of just stay. Maybe I sleep and wake up, then I start creating that because I have to go into a very deep state of work. So now, if you exude your energy, if you use your energy to lie, if you use your energy to do things that you are not disciplined, you start seeing your reputation depleting because it takes a whole lot of energy for you to actually guide your reputation. Take for example, when I was contesting for SCG election in my university days, and a lady came to meet me. She told me she said, I will not vote for you. So I said, why? She said, I heard you are above 4 points in your CGPA. Go and read your book. And that person came to me and said, I will not vote for you. I said, why? She said, I look like a cultist. That I always barb skin. Like my hairstyle is clean. I shave my hair clean. And what I look like is a cult.
Yeah, the physique. So
I went to meet one of my campaign managers. They're like, bro, what do you think about me? Do I look like a cultist? He said, I don't smile. He observed that I don't smile often. So I can't just be smiling around. And he said, yes, he knows that does not really define me. He said, but not everybody will have the time to come closer to you. Especially understand that I am good.
Yes.
He said the reputation that me not smiling, the reputation that me shaving has built, but it is the reputation of a cultist. It is not actually. It doesn't have to define me. But it's what people see in the public.
It paints an image.
Same way that other girl heard that I'm on 4 points and above, and she was like, I should go read my book. So every word, I believe every word we utter, every action is painting a particular image. So now, what do you have to say about people that think don't judge the book by the cover? Me, I believe you should judge the book by its cover. I had to take a whole lot of time to actually reprogram my image out there.
It took you a whole lot,
man, a whole lot. Before, if you think about Biggie, and you start thinking things like politics, things like Togri at times. But now you can't think Togri or alongside my name. You hear my name, you think tech, you think intellectual things, digital marketing, and all this kind of thing. You don't think Togri, but it was what it was then. So I don't know what you want to say about people that think you should don't judge a book by its cover, because I think our reputation is just like a book, and that cover itself is part of it.
Yes. You see, my commentary about that is that a lot of people, the mindset they have cannot really make them valuable. Yes, the kind of mindset they have cannot make them valuable, because one of the things I noticed about life is that the world is a very busy place. A whole lot of noise is going on. You can't. Okay, now start checking the number of people you have met since you were born. There are certain people you met them for just a day. You had a very deep conversation. After one day, you didn't see the person again. I guess there are certain people you met. You even live together for like 2 months. After 2 months, the person disappears. That's how the world is. You meet different people, and each time you meet somebody, may be your first and last opportunity to show them who you are. You might be a pastor, and you're on a downfall bus, and somebody insults you, and you slap that person. Some people will mark your face, so after marking your face, any day they see you in church, they will believe you're a bad person.
That is the pastor that slaps.
Yeah, the pastor that slaps. Are you getting it? Now, how much more you being on WhatsApp, on Facebook,
Constantly
on Instagram, constantly putting out
something
you are not, something you know you are not. Are you getting what I'm saying?
You know, I do something when I was in school. Let me just call me. I do something when I was in school. I don't like people seeing me reading. I don't like them seeing me reading. I did at night, like dead night, maybe 11 p.m. to like 4 a.m. But during the day, I'm very disturbed and I disturb everywhere. And I missed graduating with the first class. And I think that affected me.
Yeah.
So I think another thing people try to do is they try to intentionally look unserious.
Yes.
They would intentionally want to look unserious. So I don't even know what that gives people.
The thing is, you have no gain. That's the frank truth. That you have no gain putting out who you are not. You have no gain. You have no gain whatsoever putting out who you are not. So, like I was saying before, that someone who meets you for the very first time, sees you act or hears what you say and judges you. How much more somebody who watches your status every day you keep posting pictures of club with different men. You are in Abuja today with a man, tomorrow you are in Port Harcourt with another man, and somebody now sees you tomorrow in the street and say that girl must be a prostitute, and you're angry. Why are you angry?
You're posting nude pictures.
Yeah, you're posting nude pictures.
Little skin, cleavage.
Yeah, you may be a very good Christian, you may be a very good Muslim, you may be whatever, but the image you put out there is what matters. And like you said, like words, the same way words are like a building block to building a reputation. It's the same way actions are like a building block too. And so you have to vet your actions. But that doesn't just happen. It happens by constantly living the life of discipline.
When you type something on Twitter,
before you put it out, check it. Before you put out that trash you want to dump on Instagram, on WhatsApp, check it, vet it. So
I think you should put your side on the other side of it and say, if I see another person doing this, what will I think of that person? You know, there's something I always say to my mentees.
Yeah.
My digital marketing mentees. I will tell them. I said, if you are the owner of a company, will you hire yourself?
Yeah, a very good question.
Always ask yourself. And tell yourself your utmost truth.
Do you deserve to be hired?
You deserve to be hired. Tell yourself the truth. I told them, I said, there was a point I was telling myself that no, I don't know this yet. I took about, let me say, 15 digital marketing related courses before I landed my first job. Like 15. From writing to ads to SEO, that 15 certifications.
You see, I'll come in there. You see, one of the reasons why a lot of people want to fake a personality is because they are not sure of themselves.
Are confused.
They are not sure of themselves. They want to fake the personality. Low self-esteem.
And maybe laziness to actually do the work.
Some may not even be lazy. Some have a low self-esteem that this thing, the reality of who I am, if I want to put it out there, is it really who I am? And so before a man can start living a life of truth, he must first solve the problem of low self-esteem. Do you understand? You see somebody who let's say loves reading. Maybe probably is not on first class. He's on 2-1. But he keeps hiding from people. For the fact that you are on 2-1 does not mean you are not an academic. Do you understand? So put it out there. There are people who appreciate that effort. There are people who will appreciate your process more than your results. I guess what I'm saying.
Processes are.
But if you start lying about your process, you start putting something that is antagonistic to your process, a lot of people will just ignore you. Let me tell you the truth. Billionaires don't have time to start vetting your image. They don't have time.
Nobody.
Sometimes it will take just one post for your life to change.
Just like you take one post for your reputation to destroy.
Okay, now take for instance, there was this issue that happened a while ago where there was this argument on Twitter where the woman said, I woke up by 4:30 a.m.
to cook for my husband.
Okay, does that define the woman as a good wife?
No.
But that one single post portrays the image that this woman is a good woman, and before you know, within 48 hours, they made her a millionaire. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you see people who just come online and they say it doesn't matter. You insult people on Twitter, you insult people on Instagram, you post trash on there, and you say it's just a post.
And you say, don't judge me, I'm not my social media post.
No, shut up. We don't agree with that. We don't agree with that philosophy at all.
I mean, I will judge you. You know, when I was digging deep into the story of Apple,
Yeah.
Jobs is a very dirty somebody. I mean, he stinks. Steve Jobs is very, very dirty. One of the things he did was he called himself a fruitarian. So he eats fruit alone. He's a vegetarian.
Yeah.
So he read a book, and the book was like, if you eat fruit every day, you don't need to shower.
Okay.
And he believed that. You know, he just believed that. So he doesn't shower.
Okay.
And sometimes, you know, he believes he's a Sadhguru follower. So sometimes he walk barefooted. So there was a time when they were trying to raise funds for their Apple II, to sell their Apple II, they went to a man, and Jobs just put his leg on the table like that, his dirty leg. And the person just stood there like, he told them, Steve Jobs and Wozniak that, get out of my office.
Oh my God.
So what happened was, you know, they have to chase Jobs away from Apple at the point.
Yeah.
It's because he's dirty, number one. He's very dirty somebody. He stinks.
Yeah.
So you have to stay in the boardroom with somebody that stinks. And then somebody that walks barefooted at times. And then he's a narcissist to a particular extent, though. It's very authoritative. If you are doing nonsense, you tell you this thing that you do is rubbish.
Nonsense.
He doesn't know how to mash us together. You see, so one thing that happened at the particular point is they hired somebody to actually market the image of Apple. Because if you see a very good, solid product that Jobs built, it's a genius that the Jobs and Wozniak built, and you see Steve Jobs like this, you may argue that this is not the person that built this.
Exactly.
Because of his image, right? So they have to start crafting the image of Apple. Even when they went to launch Apple II, I think Mark Makula have to buy suit for Jobs and shoe that, come on, take your shower, nigga.
Now going to something important.
Wear suit. So they have to also build that image so that people will not portray that, come, this dirty guy cannot build
this kind of thing.
This kind of thing. Because Makula believed that if I'm convinced to buy an Apple II and I see Jobs that stinks, I can change my decision. Just one word. Just like we explained that woman posted something and then boom, she's a millionaire. Just a word. But I think another thing that helped that woman was because she was consistently praising her husband. So I think they started digging deep into her former tweets.
Yeah.
And then I think if you type husband on her page, you see series of tweets.
Yes.
So that is why if the reputation is built on lie,
it can last.
Because if people dug deep into her tweet and they start saying her cursing her husband, they will start saying no, this is a lie. Yes. This negates other things you'll be saying. So the truth has to be consistent, because if the house is built on lie, it's going to collapse.
You see, I'll talk about that, and I'll use Nigerian politicians as a big example. You know, when we talk about Nigerian politicians, the first thing that comes to your mind is a thief, a liar.
That is it.
But do you know, many of these people don't have evidence. They don't have physical evidence that you can say this person stole.
Yeah.
Do you understand? But over the years, we've seen many of these politicians act like that.
Promise a whole lot of things that they'll never deliver.
They'll never deliver. And so when you are coming as a politician in Nigeria, no matter how truthful you are, people will label you as a thief. What am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that that's your bad, stinking image that you have created has the capacity to affect your children.
It transcends you.
Yes. Reputation is transgenerational, bros. It's transgenerational. Money may not be transgenerational, because until money becomes wealth, it can't be transgenerational. So your child must learn how to manage. Your child must learn how to build wealth. But you see, what do you call it? Reputation. It is transgenerational. Because before your child can actually cancel that reputation you made,
Yeah, it has to be intentionally easy.
before you can cancel that reputation, let's say you are a very good man. Let's say you are a very good man. Before your child can appear bad, it must be very bad.
Like very, very.
And let's say you are a very bad man. Before your child can appear good, because it's coming from a very bad man, it must appear. It must be very good.
Just like seeing the side of Hitler now. You start thinking,
Yeah. So when you create that image, you are creating work for your children. When you destroy your reputation, you are creating too much work for your children, because they have to deal with a lot from the society. They have a lot to deal with from the society.
So when you are thinking of your actions, you should think that one day I'm going to give birth, right?
You see, look at the music industry now. Fela Kuti, music has become something transgenerational for them. Why? Because their father did beyond music. He was one of the few musicians that was able to go against the government, able to go against politicians. And so whatever Seun Kuti comes online to do, whatever Made Kuti comes online to do, a lot of people will pardon.
You think Fela Kuti, they think about their father.
Yes, the reputation
attached to that name, Fela. Wow.
And also good. These guys are also they're also working on that.
Building on
they're doing fine. You understand? It's just like when you see Abacha today, Abacha's children. If you see Abacha's children today, the very first thing that comes to your mind is looting. And funny enough, the Abacha's son may be a very religious person, but you don't want to hear because the man has created a certain reputation.
So what you do actually,
what you do matters.
It goes way more than you.
It goes way more than you think. Do you understand?
Okay. As we start to round up this, I kind of want you to speak about the reputation you built when you were in school. Okay. Because I believe there are quite young people that listen to our podcast. I think the analysis is about majority of people that listen to this podcast are between the age of 20 and 27. Okay. And I believe we have quite a lot of students here. Yeah. So I think reputation, you don't start building your reputation when you're out of school. Yeah. The things you do in school still follow you. Yeah. You see, I made a very terrible mistake while I was in school. And one of those mistakes was when I wanted to come into pharmacy. I had one of the highest scores. I was the second highest scorer, JAMB scorer. So one of those days, I went to class. I think the mistake came from low self-esteem. So one of that, you know where I'm coming from now. I'm coming from a very far place, not even a city, a village. So I went to school, and at that time I didn't even know the score was that high. Like I didn't know. I thought a lot of people had very high scores. So when I got to school that day, the PANS president came to our class. Then he started saying we should start mentioning our names. At that time, the only list that had come out was the first list. So when the list came out, it was just the first list. When the list came out, we resumed. So PANS president came to class. Then he said we should be mentioning our names. And though I was not the highest, I was the second highest, but I was like very popular amongst them because though they don't know me, but because I was the only Yoruba boy in the class. Do you understand? Yeah. So when I mentioned my name, a lot of people look back and was like, oh, so is that the Yoruba guy that... In fact, one girl, like one or two girls came to me. I was like, you're the one that scored so scoring down. I was ashamed. I was not ashamed, but I was like shy. Do you understand? So and me, I didn't want them to start saying, because I felt there are people that will be more intelligent than you. I don't want to start giving out an image that's not. So when that happened, I started reading. I started staying away from classes. I barely go to class. In fact, when I first resumed, people wanted to go to class with me. I was in the hostel. Most of the guys, whenever they want to go to class, they'll come to me and say, bros, let's go to class. I'll tell them I'm not going. So it went on like that. I built a lifestyle of truancy. Before you can see me in class, you see that we have a very important lecture that will require an attendance, or you see me in the practical lab. I live like that, and after my 100 level, a lot of students had come in, direct entry students, second list, third list, fourth list. So many people didn't even know me. So most of them, whenever they see me, they'll be like, are you in our class? So I was now seen as an unserious person. But the only people that knew that I was quite intelligent were those people that were with me from the start. And my results were good, but they don't know. No, they don't know you.
Do you understand? They don't know. And it went like that till I graduated. Along the line, when I graduated, I started thinking about it. I said, What if these guys have an opportunity that have to do with academics
And they have to recommend somebody.
and
They
they have
will
to
not
recommend
think
somebody,
you.
they won't think me. I guess what I'm saying.
They won't.
They won't think me because I put out a wrong image. And funny enough, I won't brag about it. I read more than many of those guys because I'm a day reader. I don't like reading at night. So most of the times when you don't see me in class, I can stay in the library from 8 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock till 5 o'clock in the night, in the evening. Sometimes 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. But they don't know this because the image I put out there is
It's just a rascal.
do you get?
So
And that's what will affect. One of the negative effects that a wrong image will afford you or give to you is that it makes you miss opportunities.
So when people are thinking of a whole lot of things, they will not call your
when
name.
we are talking about opportunities, stop thinking about a job. Stop thinking. Opportunities actually mean human beings, connections,
Networking with the right
networking.
people.
So when you network with people and you don't put out that right image, you have messed it up.
That's one of the podcasts I recorded that said there's somebody you need to meet.
Yeah.
Okay, soldiers, that's that about that. That's that about reputation. That's that about the image you're putting out there. That's that about words. Every word you utter is a block. It's a block in the house of reputation you are building. We're gonna come on here another time. Kayode is a friend. He's gonna be coming here more time to speak on numerous topics, maybe with another person or so. But trust me, I'll always bring him back for you guys to enjoy. But use this, connect with people, talk to your friends, share it with friends and family. Okay. Let them use these things as well so that they can have some good ammunition in their arsenal to face the battle of life. But before we go, Kayode, what will you leave us with?
I think what I will leave us with is the normal slogan of the podcast. I say, gather your life together. Get your life together. And like I always say that the life you are living now is your first and last opportunity to live. Whatever story you write now is what you read out in your biography, as your biography at your funeral. Thank you.
Remember the topic I released, I think last year, which I said, get your story straight. Get your story straight. What you do, whatever you say, your actions, you are writing a story that's about your life. And when you die, that story becomes your reputation. Take care, soldiers. I'm out.